Hey there, welcome back to Arms Trade Tycoon. It's now 1945, and I think I've kind of completed most of the things that were supposed to be done in this series. We've created all sorts of weird and wonderful designs. Tigers, M4 bobbleheads, whatever this is. We have the new Tiger Breakthrough, which is sporting the Churchill turret. We have the IS, and that's the tank I'm primarily focusing on, the heavy IS V1. Yes, it's not exactly what you would normally think of as an IS, but it gets the job done, and it gets it done on the cheap. The only tank I really haven't done that much with is the Heavy Cromwell series. I have access to the new Heavy Cromwell, I believe. I just don't really see a role for it. Because at the moment, every role is filled. There aren't that many different types of contracts available. You are looking at the assault tank. You're looking at the heavy infantry tank and the breakthrough. This is the IS, this is the Churchill, although I think it can also be done by some of the other tanks, such as the IS, especially as most of these stats are very similar. The breakthrough tank is the Tiger. The universal tank, I'm not even sure which exactly is that supposed to be, like the Comet? But there aren't that many interesting contracts out there. The current one I'm fulfilling is sporting 83 tanks for the Americans. And the reason why I'm trying to cozy up to the Americans is because I don't really have a whole lot of advisors or administrators. And that's kind of causing bottlenecks. Because it also means I cannot have enough people working in the production hall. The way that I think is ideal to get more people in is to get additional admins, but at the moment nobody is really willing to give me additional admins because my reputation with them isn't good enough. So that's why I'm trying to cozy up to the Americans. Now we should have plenty of resources. Ah, they delivered it. Snail & Co. delivered it without delay. Color me impressed. Okay, so we have delivered 80... No, we have to deliver 83. We've delivered 30. There's another 13 there. We need to sport another 40 tanks in the period of 47 days. Okay, so we're going to be building 13, and that might cause a slight delay. Yes. Oh well. They'll have to be slightly patient. This is exactly why I would want the additional administrators. Because I can get 650, maybe 725 people on a production line. That'll definitely speed things along nicely. It's definitely a bottleneck. And I would like it if you were able to produce additional assembly lines. Just get an upgrade to the building, because I already have the buildings that are useful. So at this point, I'm just waiting for additional ways to get more workers in. Let's see, the British Empire and the Netherlands. This is from the Foster Company, and these are Incredible Arms Heavy Matildas. Blasted incompetence. The tank's overall performance was nothing short of disgrace. Oops. Contributing to a lamentable outcome on the battlefield. So, the Cromwell beat out against the Heavy Matilda. Interesting. Interesting. The tank's exemplary performance during deployment to the battlefield showcased the true British metal, as it maneuvers with unmatched agility and speed. Okay, so that's good, but recon is not. The tank's lamentable performance in mobility, blah blah. Exactly how bad was it then? I mean, you're trying to sport a fairly old tank against something that's highly mobile, so you're not likely to win it on recon. Targeting is fine. We've got exceptional aiming devices, yes. However, apparently we were not able to hit the enemy. How can we target them but not hit them? No critical hits. We got hits. Did we miss them or did they miss us? I'm not sure. Score attributes. Yeah, agility is not going to be great. Not on the Heavy Matilda. It's not supposed to be fast. Anyway, if the British want better tanks, they can open up their wallets and they can start making sure I am interested in giving them better tanks. I mean, I have better tanks. I have plenty of better tanks available. Oh shit, they need 53? Oh, right, yes, I have those. Never mind. Snail & Co., off you go. They want better tanks, that's fine. We can give them better tanks. It's just going to be a question of how much are you willing to pay. Production complete. They require another bunch of tanks. Oh, we got 5 days remaining. Oh, I did calculate it properly. Hold on. I just need one more tank to get completed. Just the one. No, one. 4 days. Okay, that last tank is going to be slightly late. I'm just going to make sure that these guys get shipped out, so they'll be there in time, as to ensure I don't get as much of a problem, as much of a fee. Production complete. Off you go, high speed. And the Americans are going to be not terribly happy, because there will be a slight late fee. But at the moment, I am definitely looking at some pretty positive revenue, as well as that score for the reputation, which is basically all that I really care about at this point. There we go, delivered. That's another 7 million. Are the Americans willing to give me an administrator yet? Nope. I still need more reputation. One more contract ought to do it. Let's see what the Americans have. They have a strike tank requirement. I think that's the M4. But the M4 that I built was extremely expensive. 39k. Very high success score. And this thing actually has a pretty similar success score, but it's 7k cheaper. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to be giving you more tanks. I just cannot give you more tanks that quickly. 1,000 success score should be fine. Okay, so I need to build 120 tanks. It's a $12 million contract. Application deadline is tomorrow. We're going to start cranking out these tanks as quickly as we can. And I think I might run into trouble, because I don't think I can build that many tanks that fast. Let's get the production lines going as quickly as we can. Apparently I'm lacking resources again. Give me 20, 10, and 10. So at least we have the production lines going. And then we'll make sure we get the resources shipped in quickly. I have about 10 days in order to get those resources. No, I got more time. 32 days. Okay, we're not in a hurry. I want heavy ISs, and I want to have enough for about 100 of those vehicles. We're going to do it on the cheap. So that's 584. Africa's 551. That's fine. Let's go do it. Alright. I think the Americans will accept the tank. Ah, the resource order's delayed. That's fine. Have the Americans decided yet? Yes, they have. They want the tank, and they have 131 days to complete. That's going to be a little tight. I.e., I'll be slightly late with the delivery, but I can still get the reputation. And it's not like I'm short in money in any short way. 66 million. Okay, so we have produced 30, there's another 10 coming, and they want 120. We got 80 more tanks to build in 104 days. I'm going to say I want to have 30 from this line. And another 30 from that line. And this line is going to finish up in about a month. And then they can produce another couple tanks. Let's start sending Snell & Co. on their way. So that at least they have a bunch of these tanks early. Yes, of course there's a delay. Well, this time around I don't mind. Look at that, I've already produced 170 of these tanks. Ah, the heavy machine gun is ready. I'm not really sure I'm going to need these parts. Look at that, I completed the structure tech tree except for some of these things, but I'm not going to go back if I got these advanced turrets. The heavy machine gun, what is that? That's the Bessa M2 Mark II. Let's get the all-purpose munitions. And the rest of it is working on powerful aircraft engines and modernized running gear. Very good. Continue on with that. I am very interested in still getting some slightly better parts for my tanks, because I'm still missing some of the advanced turrets and guns. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they have really invented a whole lot of new parts. This is just another engine, and it's not like the IS has gotten an upgrade either. There are trophy tanks available. Yeah, right. No, I'm not getting that. Hopelessly outdated material. I'm not doing that. Oh, this is not great. 232 casualties. That came at a fairly awful time. Hire all the workers. Yes. Oh boy. And I have medical facilities and shit, but... like, this is not what I need. Max it out. Yeah. Okay. Balance 66 million, that's fine. We got the production completed. You guys are still producing. I think I needed to produce another 10. So let's get to work on that. We got another 30. Let's ship them out. Go make the monies. There. Now, regarding the contract, we're already looking at a positive score of 30. And about 3 million in revenue. And that's just with 25% of the contract completed. So we're definitely getting some results with the Americans. 24 tanks. 28, hold. Can we hire more workers, please? Yes. You there. Come here. First, we need to set up these production lines with as many people as we can. I just want to keep cranking out these tanks, because I think I can keep selling them. Everybody's going to be driving the IS. Which should make battles quite interesting. Although, if I'm also supplying it to the other party, of course, they're not quite going to like that. Let's get the improved diesel. 267 days. And we got another 40 tanks out there. Time. 21 days. So, let's send them up by Snail & Co. again. 30 tanks. Done. Yes, of course, there's a delay. Alright. Fucking hell, really? Production fire. That's going to take another 15 days, and I've suffered casualties. Why is this happening? I don't like this one bit. Because my contract is now overdue. I still got to produce 13 tanks. And my production hall appears to be malfunctioning. There. 5 days, 56 days. Yeah, right. More workers, please. What? Oh, I got maximum workers already. Okay, is everybody actually at work? Stop loitering. Get to work. Yeah, just keep cranking these things out. I don't care if we have a client or not. Let's ship in more resources. More money, more money, more money. I want to have enough for another, oh, I don't know, 150. Okay, that might be a bit much. Ship it in from Africa. And that should pretty much fill out our warehouse. I don't think we can upgrade the warehouse that much more. Yeah, I got all the upgrades except for one more facility slot. I can get safety unloading, which is going to give me better supply reliability. This is better materials sale focus. I'm never selling materials. I'm just turning them into tanks, and I don't exactly scrap things either. So I don't need any of those. Production complete. Good. Keep cranking out the IS. The IS is probably going to get pretty famous at this point. Not 2 points of fame. Oh, they haven't proven themselves on the battlefield yet. I imagine that's causing some delays. Hold. We have the last of the tanks. We are now 14 days remaining. So Snail & Co. is not going to service this one. It's just going to be the rest with the fastest shipment. Done. Contract completed. And that should push me over the limit to go to tier 2 for the Americans. Yes. Administrators. You can have an additional 450 workers per line. I would like to come... or you would like to come with me. And I can get additional engineers on the line. I can get some additional tank storage. I don't really care for that. Resource storage might be useful, so let's get you aboard. There are no additional administrators available here. Do you guys have... You have one administrator. I need to get quite a lot of reputation with them, though. How about the Germans? The Germans really don't like me. Maybe because I've been supplying the enemy. I guess that might have something to do with it. What about French? French are... yeah. I still need to get a lot more from them. You guys don't have any admins. What about the Italians? They don't have any admins. Spanish don't have any admins. Portugal, no joy. So if I want to get administrators, I'm going to have to pony up to the French. Okay. So what do the French want? Nothing. No, they want a strike tank. I'll give you a strike tank. Here, have an IS. Crank it up maximum. This doesn't do anything for the expected revenue. Oh, they don't like it that much. How much are you offering? 327. They're paying 100k for a tank, though. Okay, so that ought to do it. And I already have a bunch of tanks produced, so we should be able to supply those with that level of tanks. Shouldn't be much of an issue. Oh, production research is fine. Yeah, like I got the Heavy Cromwell 2. I'm not really sure what to do with it. I already have the Comet. I already have the Heavy Cromwell 1. I can look into the Cromwell 2, but I'm not sure exactly what role that's going to fill on the battlefield. Let's have a look. Go to design. So the Heavy Cromwell Mark II. Here you are. Is that the universal tank for the Brits? Maybe. Okay, so what is it you want? You want something that's fast, high amount of cross-country speed, good operational range, and good agility. Protection is something we can very quickly fix just by having a turret. And crew performance is something that I think we can make work with this tank. Alright, here we go. I want to try and hit those numbers while not making the tank extremely expensive. Because that's something that tends to keep happening when you try to max out all the stats. We are looking at a universal tank. So crew safety, crew awareness, crew comfort. That's what we're going for. That means no additional ammo stowage, which is definitely not in crew safeties. This is not crew safety either. Over here we can get some additional crew safety if I pick the additional high focus headlights. It's also going to give me better crew awareness, which they also want. And it doesn't break the bank man hours or cost. So that's good. It's also going to improve agility. The only thing it doesn't improve is transportability, but that they don't care about that. So I think this is pretty much the best option I have. Because here crew awareness tanks. And over here you got transportability, which is tanking. Well, we're sacrificing 4, but we're gaining 1. No, I think this is the best one. Alright, radio. This is going to cost crew awareness, but it's going to improve crew com internal, and it means I don't have to have as many crew members aboard in the first place. That's very important, because the more people you stick into one of these tanks, the worse your crew becomes. The crew performance just tanks. No pun intended. Let's do that. Over here we're looking at additional operational range. So the operational range right now is 50 and we want... Sorry, is 40, we want 50. I'm using the diminutive hatch. I can get the large hatch for another, well, a few points. Or this one. This could work. We're pushing it to 47. And the other ones aren't as good. If I'm pushing this large hatch, that'll improve the structure and the rear thickness and the operational range very, very slightly. No, we're sticking with that one. Additional ammunition stowage. No. They don't really care about the amount of ammunition we carry, so we're not getting that. Finally, over here we got crew comfort and operational range. I'm thinking the best operational range is going to be useful. They don't care about the structure or that it's repairable or anything like that. They just want the crew to be safe. I can get this one for 11 and 13, or this one for a total of 23. So that's 24. Let's push this one. Operational range is now good. And I think the rest is just going to get progressively worse. Yep. Okay, so that is the new Heavy Cromwell hull. Let's see what we can put onto it as an engine. But first I want to have the turret. I want to have this turret be fairly cheap. I'm here to make money, not necessarily provide the best tanks. So 5,200 hours or 5,300 hours, that's a lot. What about just using this? That is not a very fancy turret. 4,000 man hours. I can try selling them on the American turret. I just don't know if they'll appreciate that. Protection is good enough. And this only cost me 3.5. 7,000 man-hours. This thing cost me 3.71k to produce. This one cost me about 3 times that. This one's cheaper. Yeah. And I'm already hitting the stats for turret protection. Crew performance. Is that really heavily affected here? Little bit. But I think we can make this one work. Okay. Then, do I want that additional turret? Because I can have a machine, or I can have a main gun here. And interestingly, they don't care about the main gun. So I can just use the cheapest one. And they want a machine gun, which I can just put in the hull. Yes, it's not a very fancy solution, but it gets the job done. It satisfies the client for the contract. Let's go with a cheap machine gun. They don't care that much about what sort of firepower you put in, so I can go with either 1900 man-hours and a production of 1.2k, or 900. Or even less, I think. Here, have an old Vickers machine gun. That second turret, I'm just not going to use. It's an armored seal. And then for the tracks, it's currently 18 tons. I'm going to add tracks first. 5,000 man-hours. 7,000. This is 5.3k. This can definitely drive the tank. Now we're going to look at cross-country speed, operational range, and agility. These tracks are very heavy. I need something a little lighter. That'll be lighter, alright. It's just... I'm not sure if it'll drive the tank properly. Let's see if we can actually fit that in. Because these are very cheap. Very, very light. The Rolls-Royce V12... Jesus, that is an enormous engine for that tank. It also makes the tank have a slight power-to-weight ratio bonus. But I think it's not the cheapest option. What about the Liberty V12? Cross-country speed is horrible, but that's probably because I don't have a crew yet. So let's set that up first. You want a couple commander points. You want to have a driver who can double as a loader. He's not quite going to do that. Driver mechanic then. And we're going to have one gunner. Maybe a gunner loader? That kind of satisfies those requirements. Crew performance is good enough. Crew safety isn't, but hey, who cares? Mobility is okay. And we're definitely getting points on protection. If I then add expendables, I think I have to add these in. And they don't seem to cost me any additional points, so that's fine. Let's go with discarding Sabo, and which one was it for high shock value? Because you had the higher kinetic pen, you have a lot of damage, and the heat shells have shock... Oh, sorry, this is machine gun. They don't care about machine gun at all. They do care about operational range, so let's go with the interceptor fuel. And over here, this is not really that important. Okay, so operational range is good enough. Cross-country speed, not great. If I add a different engine, maybe we can fix that. Also, this is going to cost me 7k. If I add the GMC, crew requirement is 6? Jeez, you need a full mechanic for that. What about this one? No, it makes the tank quite heavy. That makes it quite heavy. What about the AEK? Mobility is going to be a problem then. Also, my tank is too heavy. I mean, the tank can support it, but the engine cannot really support the tracks. I want to have a low crew requirement. What about this one? The HL120. 142. Pretty good. It's a slightly more expensive engine. I mean, it's 50% more expensive than the AKI 6, but I can make that work. I especially care about that crew requirement. These Leprechaun tracks are from the M4. I'm very much interested in having a low crew requirement. The Leshy are from the T-34. Which means you're sacrificing some cross-country speed. You're definitely getting a slight bonus here, but not really as much as I'd like. These are already the lighter version of the Leshies. The Erkling? Sorry, Earl King. The Earl Kings have what I need. They got the mobility stats. The only thing they don't do as well is cross-country speed, but hey, that's fine. So the Earl Kings might be feasible. If I go... No, I don't really want to go with the other ones. The Sphinx? 158. Cost? 4k. That's better. That's better. So if I just look at these stats, this is good enough. It's compensated by protection, and mobility is excellent. The tank is lighter than what they want, and with this engine, we're going to have a pretty good power-to-weight ratio bonus. We got 3 crew members for 5. We got enough volume. I think this thing can work. With the M3 turret, it looks a little weird, but that's just to cut some corners and make this thing affordable. How much would this whole thing cost me? 30k. That's cheaper than the IS. Okay, get to work. We only need to engineer the heavy Cromwell hull. And once that is done, we can immediately assign the guys to design the tank. This is going to take 3 days. Easy. Rival tanks rumors, really. The Tiger B. Does that come with a better turret? It does. Hello. Alright, talk to me. What you got? Back to design. So we got the better tank, or rather the better turret. Yes, that's this thing. Get to work. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Interceptor. Yeah, that'll fix mobility for me. And then finally, if I can boost crew performance, that'd be great, but that doesn't work with these stats. How are we going to paint this thing? Just, you know. Oof. No. Deep Brunswick green. Do that. What? Oh, crap. Crap, these Sphinx tracks have no way of pushing all this weight around. Okay, my bad. Shit, I thought I had a good design. I completely missed that bit. Right, so we're gonna have to either do something about the Sphinx tracks or come up with a different design for the whole tank. That's unfortunate. I can put the Cyclops in, but the Cyclops are pretty heavy. This is starting to look way too normal of a tank. Mobility is fantastic at 184. Price is slightly higher, but I can afford that. And the Scylla? The Scylla is 189. But it's more expensive. No, we're not doing expensive. Okay. Well, we'll do that then. Save. And now we're looking at 32k. Okay, it's higher than I was hoping for. But we'll just have to make it work. Now, what about... Hold on. Can I give this thing the Tiger turret? Unfortunately, it is obsolete. Here, there's the Tiger B. This is the Tiger. The Tiger 1. There aren't that many things I want to change on this tank. I just might want to change that turret. To see if they're interested in getting an improvement. Because this also requires more crew. And I now have access to this thing. Which is the turret that it's supposed to have. The requirements for this tank are good crew comms, which they have. Firepower, which we can definitely give them with that new gun. This one. Holy crap. This is going to be an expensive piece of machinery. Then again, it's, you know, it's a German tank. You don't get these things on the cheap. That machine gun port is sealed up, yes. You don't care about soft firepower, do you? You just care about the hard firepower, so I can just give you a Vickers from 1937. Looks disastrously out of place. Crew? We only really need a loader. And everybody else is... yeah, good. Okay, expendables. We are looking at kinetic pen, which we have. We don't have shock value yet. So let's give them heat shells, and there you go. And then machine guns. Again, they don't care about that. Okay. The thing is, this is going to be mightily expensive. So let's say this is the Tiger 1v2. 46k? Holy crap. That is very expensive. The version that I made was also 46k. The attribute sum is 3697 versus 3706. Yeah, I'll bet you this thing has a lot more firepower. It's got too much of it. And if this thing is 46k, I'm never going to build that. It's just too expensive. If I can satisfy clients' needs by just pumping their whole armies full of the IS-2, then that's just a better option. I mean, this is 32k. This thing is 46k. That's a massive investment. Man-hour time, 27. Or you're looking at 33. 35 if you want their tank. Hell no. I will just engineer this thing or design this thing. I just doubt I'll ever actually sell it. Because it's just not really worth it. Alright, I'm also going to do another one episode on the IS and getting that improved turret, because I am interested in getting that. So that's going to come at some later date. For now, thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions for what you still want to see in this series, by all means, let me know. And I will look forward to seeing your suggestions down below in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon for more.